Well, hello and welcome to Unleashed Dogs Without Limits. I'm Carl Metzler, and we're really excited this week to be bringing you Season 2 of Unleashed. This show is all about dogs and the things they do every day to make our lives better, safer, and more enjoyable. This week, we're going to take a look back at some of the more memorable moments from Season 1 and get a sneak peek at what's ahead for us here in Season 2. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Unleashed. There are over 86 million dogs in the United States, but only a select few are considered elite working or sporting dogs. From police and military canines to hunting and sporting dogs and everything in between, meet the dogs your dog aspires to be. Get ready to see man's best friend in a whole new light. This is Unleashed. You know, when you think about dogs and all the things they do for us every day, you might think about working dogs, you know, police canine and military working dogs, and the handlers that work and train with these dogs day in and day out. These are the dogs that are on the front lines helping to keep us safe. In Season 1, we introduced you to Ken Licklider at Von Lick Kennel in Indiana. Ken has been in the dog world for a very long time, and Von Lick has a reputation for providing some of the best trained canines on the planet. They've trained dogs for over 5,000 law enforcement and government agencies, and they remain at the forefront of canine training.
I'm Ken Licklider. I'm here in Denver, Indiana. I've been in dogs for 42 and a half years. That's all I've ever done, that's all I'll ever do. People come here from all over the world. We train civilians, civilian police departments, correctional facilities. We also train special forces military. These dogs, we go through hundreds to find the one that will come here, and we did 1,000 during the war a year. They're hard to find, but they're there, and they're athletes. They're super intelligent, and we challenge them with things that aren't, we use natural things. We pair, their prey drives, their defense drives, their hunt drives. We pair that with things that we want them to do, but you got to find the right dog. And when you find the right ones, they train up pretty easily, and the things that they do for their partners over there are beyond imagination. To see that guy and know that he's going to go out there and he's going to hunt bad guys, he's going to protect people, he's going to find the explosives, he's going to find the drugs. It's a great feeling. And then they stay in touch. They send us articles, they send us pictures, they call us freaking out that they just caught a bad guy, and you can hear it in their voices. And then we save people's lives. These dogs will save their lives, and they know it and they rely on them.
So every day, all around the world, dogs like the ones that Von Lick select and train protect our cities and our neighborhoods. They're out finding narcotics or explosives or apprehending bad guys, sometimes even tracking down missing persons. Now, sometimes you'll come across a story of their heroic acts, but most of the time, they're just acting behind the scenes, just doing their job. Every now and then, though, you come across a story on a much bigger stage. In Season 1, we introduced you to Canine Hurricane and his partner, Marshall Merarkey. Hurricane is a retired Secret Service canine, and he's got quite a story to share.
My name's Marshall Merarkey. I'm a former Secret Service emergency response team operator with Special Operations Division. This is my retired canine Hurricane. He's an 11-year-old Belgian Malinois. 2014, so it's no secret somebody ended up jumping the fence and did get inside the White House. That changed everything for us. I was on the North Grounds 2 weeks later. Guy comes over the fence. I end up deploying him and letting him go. He's weaving in between team members and jumps up and takes the individual off his feet. When I deployed Hurricane on him, they went to war. I mean, this individual, for whatever reason, wasn't feeling pain. So at that point, you have a 200-pound man versus, 65, 70-pound dog. And they went at it bad. I mean, Hurricane got banged up really bad. It went on for a while. as he's doing this, although he's not able to bite and hold him because he's getting hit so hard, he's still pushing him back towards the fence. He doesn't know he's protecting the White House. He knows he's protecting me. He doesn't know anything else. And that took our relationship to another level. So, I mean, Hurricane has changed my life. I mean, he's my absolute best friend. And I knew that right away.
You know, one of the things I think we lose sight of when we talk about working dogs is the level of commitment required between both the dog and the handler. It's not an exaggeration to say that canine teams will spend more time together than they will with anyone else in their lives. Their families, their friends, it doesn't matter. They're together 24 hours a day. And there's a bond that's formed there that few of us will truly ever understand. The other thing I think we lose sight of is the level of commitment on the dog's part to his or her handler. We focus a lot on the things that dogs are capable of doing, but the more remarkable thing is the fact that dogs are even willing to do those things for us.
No machine can ever do what a dog's done, and they proved that during the war. The Army wrote a report stating that. They're a force multiplier. They will save your life willingly, and their detection capabilities, their sense of smell, their sense of hearing, eyesight, is much more than ours. So the war was a horrible thing, but it did a lot for our knowledge of canine and our knowledge of the value of canine. And the Army wrote a report that stated that there is nothing that will ever match what those working dogs did over there.
For your active dog, not just any dog food will do. It takes special care and nutrition to support their energy to work and play. That's why we made Kinetic Performance Dog Food. Each Kinetic formula is made with 3 animal proteins and no fillers like corn, wheat, or soy. This lets you feed less and still get more energy, faster recovery, and better weight maintenance. If health and performance matter to you, give Kinetic a try. We build it for our dogs, but you'll love it for yours.
When it comes to elite canine and handler training, the best of the best turn to one place, Von Lick Kennels. Von Lick is the premier full-service canine training center and detection service provider in the world. Their world-renowned training methods and experienced training staff produce the best canine and handler training available anywhere. When only the best will do, join over 5,000 law enforcement, government, and civilian agencies who count on Von Lick Kennels.
Are you tired of the same old toolbox that doesn't keep your gear organized, clean, or protected? Then you need a cam locker. Our exclusively designed aluminum toolboxes have hefty T-handles, insulated lids, and feature the cam locker system, the toughest aluminum toolbox lock. Proudly manufactured in the USA, Cam Locker will be the best and last toolbox you will ever own. So keep your tools and gear secure with a Cam Locker toolbox, the key to security.
Well, welcome back to Unleashed. In our last segment, we were talking about working dogs and the handlers who work beside them day in and day out. We're going to switch gears a little bit now and look back to some of the sporting dog enthusiasts we met last season on Unleashed. One of the things that impresses me most is that handlers who work sporting dogs are by and large amateurs. In other words, they do it mainly for fun and the love of the dog. One of those handlers we met last season was Dick Ofstedal from the North American Hunting Retriever Association, or NARA. Dicko doesn't get paid to train his dogs, but the level he has them trained to is nothing short of impressive.
I'm Dick Ofstedal. I'm the Regional Director of the Central Region. NARA stands for North American Hunting Retriever Association. We're amateur trainers, but hardcore hunters. We ask a lot of our dog at these tests, and the way we got there is we train after work. A lot of these guys, they have, their day job, they're working 40, 50, 60 hours. In the evening, they go home, maybe change, maybe grab a bite to eat, or they go out, they bring their dog to work in their truck, and they go out and train afterwards for 1 or 2 hours. But it takes a lot of work. Yeah, if you want a great hunting dog, I thought I had good dogs, but I now have what I considered really good dogs. Most of us want a dog that can be excited in the field and do that work, but be able to come home and be a house pet. We look for an intelligent dog that's able to solve problems and do things without fear. When you see a senior level dog, that dog has had thousands of hours. The basic obedience for any dog, whether it's a house pet or a hunting dog or a dog that reaches this level, it takes hours and hours to build a foundation and then build the skill set that they need.
You know, when you think about sporting dogs, it's easy to jump straight to gun dogs like Labrador Retrievers and German Shorthair Pointers and English Setters, just to name a few. But there's another sport that's growing in popularity across the country, a sport that requires just as much training and athleticism as most other dog sports. Last season, we introduced you to Allison Struther at Rustic Lodge Diving Dogs and got a glimpse into what it takes to get a dog to jump off a dock.
I'm Allison Struther. I'm from New Salem, Pennsylvania. We own Rustic Lodge Diving Dogs. We also own Rustic Lodge Gun Dogs. We own an indoor North American Diving Dogs AKC sanctioned facility. We spend our time training dogs to essentially simply jump in the water. We refer to it as peace, love, and diving dogs. We have a love of dogs. Started a long time ago. We have 11 dogs personally. The dogs started out with a love of hunting dogs. It's more about family. Everything we do is a love of spending time with them, getting outdoors with them, just being together. And there's something about being, for us with the Upland Dogs is where it started. And when you get outside hunting behind Upland Dogs, it's not about, you don't have to be quiet, sitting, you know, you get out there with your kids and it's getting them in the outdoors. It's sharing time that you don't spend anymore. They're doing things. You know, it's making memories. And the dogs are part of that. This sport is for every single dog out there. Any dog, any size, as long as it's able to compete and compete well, it's able to have fun here. The athletic ability to get these dogs to launch off this dock is incredible. As an example, Solly. What it takes to get a St. Bernard to come off this dock and jump 18 feet is impressive. Every time I see him launch, I think to myself, that takes serious work. She trains that dog. She has specifically been working on building his core. I can guarantee that dog's core is better than mine. So his athletic ability and the work she puts into doing that doesn't happen overnight. So these dogs train to get here. So she feeds him for it, she preps him for it, she trains him for it. And not only that, the mental things they do for their people and their handlers, it's just, they're doing no wrong. There's no wrong they're doing here.
Feel like the season just got started? Well, there's no reason to stop hunting now. At Highland Hunting, you can enjoy a great upland experience through the end of March. Located in southeast Iowa, we have over 1,200 acres of diverse upland habitat with the best flying and wildest birds you'll find at any upland outfitter. Our incredible staff and great accommodations let us show you a true Iowa upland experience at Highland Hunting. Give us a call and schedule your next adventure today.
Do you have passion? Do you have drive? Of course you do. But do you spend your days doing what makes you happy? If you're not doing what you love, you're wasting your time. Top Tier Canine is not just a dog trainer school, it's a business school. We seek those looking to join the pack. We are driven, we are passionate, and we are strengthened by each successful graduate. Time to work some dogs.
I need you to get me out of the country, out of here, away.
All in exchange for a sip of coffee?
Yeah, it's Black Rifle Coffee. Let's try some.
Later, loser!
Why don't you head over to blackriflecoffee.com and get yourself set up with a coffee club subscription.
You know, one of the things that make dogs so unique is their sense of smell. We all know that dogs have a great nose, but just how keen is their sense of smell? Well, last season, we introduced you to Jeff Mender at Top Tier Canine, who's using dogs in a unique way to detect viruses, and in particular, to detect the COVID-19 virus.
I'm Jeff Mender. I'm the CEO of Top Tier Canine, and we're in Madison, Florida. I also have offices in Tallahassee, Florida, and Valdosta, Georgia. Top Tier Canine was established in 2014 with primary goal of teaching people how to train dogs. And in that process, we've come up with a thing called Foundation Dogs, which is a way that we take young puppies as young as 6 weeks old and put them through a training process that involves 4 phases that train the dog on 50 elements and 4 functions that then we can shelve these things called Foundation Dogs and then finish them as police canine, military canine, COVID-19 detection dogs, service dogs for people with disabilities, and family or executive protection dogs. One of my instructors that worked for my school was a fellow named Dwayne Pickle. Dwayne was the very first dog trainer to train a dog to find cancer cells. I said, Dwayne, I said, you know, I've got some amazing nose dogs. I mean, these guys are really strong odor. They need a job. What do you think about me and you working together to get a dog to find and indicate on a virus? We led the way on that. Top Tier Canine was the first group in the world, and governments and universities, to get a dog to hunt for and indicate on a virus, not just take the virus and spin it in front of the dog and see if they could recognize it, but actually desire to hunt. Since then, Dubai is doing it. They now have COVID-19 dogs in the airport. Germany's doing it. Finland, Helsinki just came out with a report, their studies. They just proved a dog needs 10 molecules. It only needs 10 molecules of the virus to discern that virus from every other odor around it. The technical tests, your laboratories, need 18 million molecules for technology to find it, and that's documented. So we did it, but we didn't have the money to do that depth of validation, and thank God that Finland did it, Germany did it, Dubai did it, because it validated the work that we've proven. Can you imagine if we had these dogs available in January, and then we could have these dogs 2 weeks later at the airports, at the seaports, in the hospitals, in the nursing homes, indicating on people who had the virus and isolating them away? We would have stopped the pandemic. It wouldn't be a pandemic. And it just tells you we haven't even tapped even closely yet into the capabilities of these dogs.
You know, we've been using dogs in detection work for a very long time. And thanks to people like Jeff Mender at Top Tier Canine, we continue to find new and innovative ways to put those capabilities to use. We use dogs to find things like narcotics and human remains and explosives. We even use dogs in the field to find game birds. And as we learn more about the complexities of a dog's nose, we continue to find new ways to put those capabilities to use. Last season, we introduced you to the security team at Trike Reef, who are using drug dogs in an entirely new and different way.
My name is Guy Joslin. I'm Director of Security with Trike Reef Security in Las Vegas, Nevada. Trike Reef, we're a cannabis company. We've been in business about 7 years. We've been selling marijuana for about 5. The state of Nevada, when this started, this was a medical product. And some of my former background in law enforcement, I was a narcotics detective, and one of the jobs we did was narcotics diversion prevention. So this being a medical marijuana industry, when it opened, the state of Nevada required measures for diversion detection. They didn't tell us how to do it. They just asked that there be something in place. This company opted to try dogs. What we were kind of up against, obviously, was how does a dog find marijuana in a place full of marijuana? We're asking these dogs to locate in an environment where marijuana is grown, where the odor of marijuana is prevalent to a high degree, and we're asking them to find an object, marijuana, on a person when they're leaving the building. So we're asking them to work through in an environment that smells like marijuana and still be able to find fresh marijuana if it's being removed from the building. So when we train a dog on marijuana, and if we train him on a live plant, everything in that plant that dog knows as soon as he's imprinted on it. Then we can separate out those individual things, and that dog's still gonna know what that molecule is. The part we don't totally understand is, at least I do not, is what's going on with a dog right there, that he doesn't care about this one, and he does care about this one. We just know dogs can they can tell that those different levels of threshold. You can't find anything that travels in the air that a dog can't be trained to find. Just can't. So they've got more uses than we even probably have dogs to put to use.
So I know you feel protected in the suit. Don't make any sudden movements without me there giving specific instructions. You got it?
Dogs love it. I heard that you just bought insurance online. You really should work with somebody like Tom, who has the experience and knows what he's doing.
Oh, really?
Safari Insurance is an independent agency. They represent companies like Auto Owners Insurance. They guide you by showing you all the coverages to keep you safe. Then you decide what fits you best. They guide, you decide.
No matter what you feed, sometimes your dog needs a little help to keep them at the top of their game. For some dogs, it can even mean the chance to just live a normal, healthy life. Our Kinetic supplements are formulated to meet specific needs to get and keep your dog at optimal health and performance. Your dog will love them, and you'll be amazed at the difference they make. If your dog needs an extra boost, give Kinetic a try. We build it for our dogs, and you'll love it for yours.
In our first season, we had the privilege of introducing you to some amazing dogs and handlers, and hopefully you've enjoyed looking back at that first season. But this season, we've got a lot more in store for you, so we wanted to give you a sneak peek into some of the shows heading your way on Season 2 of Unleashed.
I'm Jean-Claude LeBlanc, president of American Tactical Canine Association. Training is essential no matter what. If you plan on going home, if you plan on your dog coming home, you have to train. You have to be the best that you can be. You have to put the time into that dog so you can be an asset to your teammates, to your dog, to your family, so you owe it to all of them so you can come back at night.
Yeah, right now we're at a Dock Dogs event in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. When it comes down to jumping off a dock, I mean, this isn't what they do, but they have a passion to compete, and especially with Crosby, he always wants to please me. I like this. I like the passion. When it comes to training dogs, you get a passion. You see the drive and passion in that dog. I always thought it'd be cool to have a dog that jumps off a dock.
My name is Chris Hardy. I'm the executive director and founder of U.S. Kennels. We take dogs from shelters, animal rescues, dog rescues, and then what we do is we pair them up with disabled veterans. We're taking basically two unwanted things, the dogs that are unwanted turned into shelters and stuff, and we're taking our disabled veterans. We actually take them, we pair them up together, make a team out of it, a bonding team at that. We're saving lives, both dogs and veterans. So, we're doing a good thing. I honestly think we are.
We're having a competition coon hunt. Guys are hunting for a big purse here, $100,000 first place. At an event like this, I think the best of the best is here. I think, any dog that was entered in this hunt could possibly win it. I think if we started a hunt next weekend, with the same 32 dogs, you'd have a different winner. I honestly believe that. That's the type of competition that there is out here.
When you see these handlers and dogs at these competitions, you got to remember when you're there watching them, these people put in a lot of time and a lot of work.
It's a long journey for a service dog. It actually takes a year or over a year, depending on what task that we try to teach these dogs for these veterans.
Whatever you put into something is what you're going to get out of it, and it's no different with these hounds.
One of my trainers always said, man, you get what you give, and if all you do is the bare minimum when it comes to dog training, that's what you're going to get out of your dog.
So I hope you're as excited about the upcoming season of Unleashed as we are. We've got a lot in store for you, and this season we'll meet some more incredible dogs and the people who work with them each and every day. But if you missed last season, we've got full episodes available for you up on our YouTube channel. Just search Unleashed Canines on YouTube and get caught up. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we've got left this week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now get out and spend some time with your own canine partner, and we'll see you next time on Unleashed.